First of all, our game shows clear instructions at the beginning, showing what arrow keys on your keyboard you use to move forward and back and turning left and right. The game is maths based, and essentially you need to answer questions correctly in order to progress. If you answer 3 wrong, game ends.
So here we've got listed our key press initializers. These are basically the controls that we set for the alien for when you want to control him moving throughout the maze. So we've got up, down, right and left. The up and down are basically the same. It'll move in the corresponding direction, 0.5 for a duration of 0.25. And then we've got right and left, which turns the alien to face a direction. So he moves at a degree of 0.125, again for a duration of 0.25. We also set the animation style to begin and end gently to make it a bit smoother when the alien does move. It was here we also set the camera's vehicle to the alien so that the camera follows the alien all the way around the maze.
So let's begin. So moving forward here. As you notice, the alien is floating. Floating, you ask? Yes. So firstly we're going to demonstrate what happens when the questions are entered wrong.
So here we have the question 1 method. To begin with, we declared 3 variables: answer check, user input value and tries left. Answer check was set to true, user input value was set to 0 and tries left was set to 2. What we then had was a while counting loop. So we had while tries left was greater than or equal to 0 and answer check was true, gets user input value, which was an integer from the user, with the question what is 2 plus 2. We then declared that if user input value was not equal to 4, then the alien would say that hasn't worked, let's try again, and tries left would have 1 deducted from its current value of 2. We then had the else to that if statement, so the alien would say yes, that's right. It would check to see that answer check was false, which would in reality mean that it was right, and the gates would open. The last part of the question 1 method is the consequence if the user doesn't get the right answer within 3 tries. So what we had was if tries left is equal to -1, the alien says, wait, what's that? The alien's opacity would be set to 0 to make it appear as if it's disappeared, and it would scream as it does so, and then the camera would pan over to end slate, which was our game over method. So here's the end slate method. The end slate method is called within each question method if the user fails to answer a question 3 times. The camera pans over to the end slate, which is a billboard with an image on it. The billboard itself says game over and points to the restart button that Alice provides so that the user can restart the game.
As you can see, fades out and the scene then switches to the game over, which then asks you to restart. So we begin again. This time we're going to run through and answer all of them correctly. This game is aimed at children, so the questions are straightforward and easy. As you can see, when the alien approaches the castle gate, he seems to be drawn to the centre of it. We've put a collision event trigger in there, which Ian will probably go over shortly.
What we have here is the question trigger method, inside which each question method is called. There are 10 nested if statements, each including a collision detection for a numbered gate corresponding to a question number. So to run you through an example, if this alien is colliding with Castle Gate 2, this alien will move to Castle Gate 2 and question 2 is called.
We've got a total of 10 questions throughout. Very simple, very basic. and quite easy to follow. We've had some product testers on this as well. Nathan's nephew had a go and found it easy. So this bit is the alien bashing his head against the wall and being pushed backwards. That's a collision event in place there, which when he collides with an object, he then gets thrown back a bit. As you've probably noticed on some of the movements, the alien seems to get stuck in the middle of nothing. We believe this is a bug with Alice because there is enough space overall for the alien to move. We're just not sure why he's getting stuck, so you'll see this here. Right, so as we're approaching the final gate now, once this is completed, the alien is going to run towards his spaceship, get in and fly away. And that is the game concluded.
So what we have here is the complete stage. This is called in the question 10 method once the user has completed all the questions correctly and passed through the final gate. We've done this as kind of like a game, not a game over step, but a game completion step. So we've done a do together box with the alien saying that my spaceship, I can finally go home, and then the alien moving to the UFO with this alien move to UFO with a duration of 5 seconds. We then have the alien disappear with this alien set opacity to 0, which is then followed by another do together box with the camera panning over to the UFO, the UFO moving upwards, the UFO then resizing slightly to give it the impression that it's going off into the distance, and then the opacity of the UFO being set to 0 to give the impression that it's disappeared.